Hello again from the Brass Ark. Here's another trombone tip packing video. So today I'm going to show you how we pack a trombone in a soft gig bag. So we get gig bags here all the time. A lot of people like to ship horns in gig bags. They're not the best to ship in, but they're not the worst to ship in. You just need to take a little bit of care. So we have a nice, beautiful BAC Jazzer that we're shipping out today. And you can see this is a ProTech gig bag. So this is a soft-sided gig bag. There's actually not really any rigid parts to it at all. So we got to really make sure that this trombone is packed with care to make sure that it's going to arrive to its next owner in wonderful condition. So we again have our trusty bubble wrap. So the most important part of packing a trombone in the gig bag is to make sure that the rim of the bell doesn't make contact with the end of the case. If you can imagine in your mind, the trombone is moving around in the gig bag, moving around in the box as the UPS or the FedEx guy or the post office service or the DHL guy or whoever service you're using is throwing it off the truck, throwing it off the plane. You want to make sure that the bell, which is the softest part, you know, it's really thin at the flare, is going to be as protected as it can be. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one little bit of bubble wrap here. I'm going to fold it up like so, and we've already got a little piece of rigid foam here that I bent into the shape of the gig bag. What we're going to do is we're going to put this at the end of the bell like so. I'm going to kind of get that in there like that. Okay, the next bit is I want to make sure that this trombone is not going to move around in the case. So we're going to take our bubble wrap. We're going to wrap this trombone up just like you would if you were shipping without a case. Now you'll notice that this case has a lot of extra space. So what we're going to do with our leftovers, we're going to roll this into a tube. And this tube is going to go on the outside there. Now, I also want to protect this neck pipe as well. So I have another piece of kind of rigid foam. And I'm going to wrap that here around the neck pipe. And this should be good. This should be good. I want a little bit more at the end, so I'll get some strap. Just have some strap here. Again, I'm going to roll it up. A lot of people, they like to just use bubble wrap as like one single sheet. And you know, it's not really that effective that way if you think about it. You really want like a double ply, especially when you're doing in a gig bag like this. So I'm going to take this bit and I'm actually going to fold it kind of 4 times right here. Get it so that the tuning slide is resting right there. Now this is pretty well packed. When I fold this case up, that trombone is not going to move around at all. Which is what we want. I can kind of feel, I can't feel the trombone at all. Now, this one's got a slide on the outside pocket, which was actually okay, but there's nothing kind of rigid here. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this up with some thin bubble wrap. Pretty easy. And just about enough for the full length of the slide, kind of 2 times through. Take that. Stick it in the case. Now, what's going to be really slick is we'll take this old box here. Now we're going to have some fun. I'm going to make this box is about this. You can get these from, you know, Amazon or whatever. I can cut strips. Now it looks like I have some strips here actually already cut from the previous one that I did. So I just have these little cardboard strips. They're like regular ply, but they're really good. They're just scrap, you know? I just scrap laying around. This is great to stick on the outside of a soft case, like so. And then when I zip this up, I have some sturdiness there on the outside of the slide. That's going to kind of help keep that slide rigid and from, you know, keep it from bending. So this trombone is now ready to go. Make sure there's nothing else in here. I'm missing anything, no lead pipes with this guy. So we have our lamp box again. This is a 12 by 12 by 40. You can get them at U-Haul. They have them there. You can get them at any box store. It's a very, very common size. They're usually $2 to $5 a box. Perfect for shipping trombones. 12 by 12 by 40. Okay, so we have our 12 by 12 by 40 box. Again, have a little bit of peanuts in the bottom. We're going to take our gig bag and we're going to center it. Now I like to kind of offset the slide a little so I have some space. So I kind of put it in on a diagonal so that the slide is not up against the side of the box. Okay, and we're going to come back over to our trusty trusty peanut box here. And we're gonna start filling up this box. Peanuts. You guys love this part, I know. Very exciting. It's nice when you have a basement shop, you can kind of make a bit of a mess. So you don't need as much peanuts when you're shipping with a trombone case, because obviously it takes up more space. So that is one kind of nice thing. All right, give it the shake. Redistribute all of those peanuts down. Now you'll see already, we've already kind of compressed it a bit by just shaking the box. Now I'm gonna take my hand, I'm gonna push on the sides, make sure that that trombone is nice and centered. Again, look how much I've compressed it, right? So if you're shipping this without compressing those peanuts down, that trombone case is gonna be flopping all over the place and you might have some potential damage. So we want it really nice and tight in there. We're gonna top it off. Look at that, beautiful. Look at that right there. Beautiful. Get a piece of bubble wrap. Top. Like to reuse when I can. Look at that, gorgeous. Here we go. Fold it up. Piece of tape. Piece of tape. Now I told Spencer this when I was teaching him, I like to kind of use the bottom of the tape to like fold it down, make sure you get a really nice seal. Because when you put that extra pressure, it kind of gets that tape really dispersed. We'll keep it from popping open when it's shipping and when its temperature changes and all of that stuff. So I have to do that when I remember. And that's it. There you go. That's how you ship a trombone in a soft gig bag anywhere you want. Thanks for tuning into the Brass Ark, and we'll catch you on the next one.